صبغة الله ومن أحسن من الله صبغة ونحن له عابدون.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear children. Allah Ta'ala has given us many favors. Every blessing of His is a favor and a gift of Allah. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is Al Muhsin, who does ihsan. He does favors for us that can never be returned. Al Muhsin is the one who does ultimate good. He is the one who has created everything with excellence and is perfect in his managing and dealing with the affairs of the whole creation. He is the excellent one, the doer of ultimate good. He is the one who perfected everything he created and who has been good to his servants through his great favors and blessings. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah Most High is Al-Muhsin. So do good by having your deeds sincerely devoted to Allah in accordance to the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al-Muhsin is the one who constantly does that which is good with perfection. He showers the good and the bad of his creation with his ihsan, goodness and favors. He is the one who brought mankind from nothing into existence. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the muhsineen. You all know the story of Yousuf Alehe Salam. He was abandoned in a well by his brothers who were jealous of him. He was left there until a caravan found him and they sold him to the Aziz, where he lived for a long time. When he grew up, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with prophethood and He gave him judgment and knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. And when Yusuf reached maturity, we gave him judgment and knowledge, and thus we reward the doers of good. But he was harassed in the house of Al-Aziz, and he was thrown in the prison for many years, where he stayed with his companions of the prison, who respected him a lot. Even though he was in the jail, they recognized his goodness. They recognized that he was an excellent man who did good. Yousuf Alehe Salam also knew the meanings of dreams. So, there entered the prison with him 2 young men. One of them said, "Indeed, I have seen myself in a dream pressing grapes for wine." The other said, "Indeed, I have seen myself carrying upon my head some bread from which the birds were eating." Inform us of its interpretation. Indeed, we see you to be of those who do good. Inna naraka min al-muhsinin. We see you as one who is muhsin. During the time that Yousuf Alehe Salam was in prison, he was bestowed with the ability to interpret dreams. Around the same time, these 2 other men were also in prison. The first one was a cupbearer to the king, and the other one was the king's chef. Yusuf's cellmates, mesmerized by his piety, sought him to have their dreams explained. One dreamt that he was serving the king wine, and the other was carrying bread on his head, which the birds were eating up. Yousuf Alehe Salam initially called them to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and told them to worship only one Allah, and told them, "Is it possible that there can be more than one God? Because if there was more than one God, then they would be fighting amongst each other and nobody would know who to obey, which God to obey. So there can only be one true God who is worthy of worship, and it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-Muhsin." Yousuf Alehe Salam then told them the explanation of their dreams. One of them was to be executed and the other one was going to be set free. He told the one who was going to be set free to mention him to the king so that Yousuf Alehe Salam can be freed from prison, because Yousuf Alehe Salam did not deserve to be in jail. He had done nothing wrong. The companion who went free, Shaitan made him forget about Yousuf Alehe Salam, and he remained in prison for several more years. Still, he made patience his own and spent those years in remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When he was finally free, Yousuf alayhi salam wanted his innocence to be known, and he wanted everybody to know that he had not committed any crime. Yousuf alayhi salam then asked the king to make him the treasurer because he deserved the position and he was worthy of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, "And thus we established Yusuf in the land to settle therein, wherever he willed. We touch with our mercy whom we will, and we do not allow to be lost the reward of those who do good." When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Muhsin, we should acknowledge His goodness and be pleased with Him. Believe that everything from Allah is good. There is goodness in everything that comes from Allah. And do all acts of worship in the most excellent way. We should treat people in the most excellent way, speak gently, and have the best of manners.
وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض يتبوأ منها حيث يشاء نصيب برحمتنا من نشاء ولا نضيع أجر المحسنين